Question: is the House to now adjourn? And I call the honourable member for Maribyrnong.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Tonight I wish to talk about travel agents and the tourism industry. COVID-19 has impacted many people and it's been tremendously tough for so many Australians. But we're not out of the woods yet. And there are a number of parts of our economy for whom COVID and the economic repercussions is simply unfinished business. And travel agents, whilst not the only group, are certainly doing it very tough at the moment. They've told me that, in my electorate and more broadly, that they want a return to normality, and don't we all? They know that for them there can be no return to normal until our international borders are open, until we have the vaccines, and until state borders can be opened on a consistent basis. So the Morrison government has unfinished business for travel agents and related jobs in tourism. There has not been enough support. The travel agency industry and the broader travel industry is not out of the woods. And no amount of soothing words from our Prime Minister can replace the need for action. Travel agents, by May of 2020, had all client itineraries cancelled, and the clients wanted refunds. The commissions that have been made for work already done had to be returned. This is the income of small business people, of family businesses. It's their mortgage, it's their self-managed super fund, it is their savings. They had regained some hope of domestic travel, but of course with borders closing between states, this is a precarious affair. Travel agents and the broader tourism sector are appreciative of JobKeeper. But tonight there are two things I say on behalf of travel agents and the broader tourism industry to the Morrison government. Please, oh please, do not stop JobKeeper on March the 31st. The industry is grateful for JobKeeper, but travel agents, their employees and the broader tourism sector are not out of the woods. They're not out of the woods. But the second thing is, the government has announced a $128 million COVID-19 consumer travel support program. That sounded good, and for some it has been useful. I don't stand here complaining about every aspect of it. But the government may not realise it has created false hopes for travel agents, and I'll just go into some detail at this point on behalf of travel agents and tourism sector. What happens is that there are different ways for a travel agent's turnover to be measured. There's at least 4 ways that accountants have done it in the travel industry. But unfortunately, the Australian Tax Office, I believe on the advice of Austrade, has picked one interpretation of turnover, which then triggers the pro rata grant, but it hasn't realised that there are other ways which the industry has been applying turnover on their G1 part of their BAS statement, and the problem is that a lot of smaller agencies are missing out. They're getting a far smaller amount, and the $128 million is not getting out to the people who desperately need it, who are hanging on by their fingernails. Specifically, travel agents in my electorate and around Australia are telling me that one of the design flaws is this ambiguity around what accountants advise agents to put in their BAS statements. Many agents have inputted their total transactional value. That's the whole value chain of the ticket sales in one trip. The ATO guidelines have said to get this grant, the turnover has to be put in. But there is a manifest range of different interpretations of turnover entered by travel agents in the G1 field of their BAS quarterly. The net result is that a few agents have perhaps received more than was predicted by the government, but most are getting underpaid, Mr Morrison. 70% of the agents that are small businesses, and they only have a month or two of financial sustainability. TaylorMade and Mount Gambier, they are in a dire situation. Tracy Ann, in my electorate, tells me about the problems that 80% of the sole traders and the home-based agents are women. They are in trouble. There's Nutch from the electorate of Hughes in New South Wales. The money that they are able to get isn't even covering the cost of the accountants to try and get the right support they deserve. There's Rosemary in Nidri. There's Nathan at Travel Associates. They want security, they want a return to normality, they need JobKeeper beyond March the 31st, and they need this BAS inconsistency sorted out now.